You know that pension your parents talk about and your grandparents retired off of? It's dead. And if you're over 35, you may still have it, but it's on its way out anyway. The average employer-sponsored pension coverage in the U.S. has collapsed from over 60% of all workers in the 80s to around 10% today. There are a few companies that are still holding out, but even those are being cut. So what does that mean for us young people? It means retirement is our own responsibility. And honestly, with these tips, I think you can beat a pension. The key is you have to start while you're young and you have to stay consistent. Let's build your retirement the right way. So first off, let's talk about why pensions disappeared and what the pension was to begin with, because this will explain a little backstory and you'll understand what you need to do instead. So the pension was a defined benefit plan. Your employer promised you a certain specific monthly payment in retirement forever, which sounds great if you're on the beneficiary side, but that's a ticking time bomb for the company, and that's why they didn't last. Companies had to guarantee they paid out what they promised, even if the investments tanked, or if people lived longer than they expected and depleted these funds out. So one by one, when the employer was running out of money, they started switching all these employees over to defined contribution plans, aka 401ks and IRAs, where you put the money in and you take on all the risk. Typically there was no formal announcement, no training or anything, so everyone's on the old way of thinking, and that's why no one can retire, because they're all broke. Just think about it. You used to be able to sit back and just retire. Now you have to contribute every single piece of your retirement, and no one tells you how to do that. That's the escape, is financial education, and that's what I'm here to give you. This could get a little mathy, so hold on. Before we talk strategy, you need a target number. How much money do you actually need to live the rest of your life off of? The most widely used rule in retirement planning is the 4% rule. So basically that means in retirement you can safely withdraw 4% of your total portfolio every year without running out of money, assuming you're not in meme stocks and crazy junk, or you're getting 0% return on your money. So somewhere in the middle, let's just use like the average of a 7 to 10% return on all this money. So if you want to spend $50,000 a year in retirement, you divide that 50,000 by 0.04. So 50,000 divided by 0.04 is equal to $1.25 million. And that sounds terrifying. Let me reframe that for you. If you're 25 years old and you invest $400 a month into a safe and well-balanced portfolio, somewhere in the 7 to 10% rate of return per year, you're going to have that number by 65. If you start at 35, you need to invest $800 a month to hit the same number. Remember, if you were 25, you needed $400 a month. If you start at 45, you're going to need over $1,700 a month. Also, your rate of return is very important here. This is a topic for another video, but if you hit 7%, you're going to be somewhere right at $1 million at 65. If you get 10%, you're going to be at $2.5 million by the time you're 65. So your investments are critical here, but the key is just invest. And all of us that are young, you have this extreme advantage where time is on your side, so you need to start now. There are also a couple tricks up your sleeve where you can get 100% rate of return. So now let's talk about all the accounts, where to put your money, and how to do it. So the first option, see if your employer offers a 401k. If they do, see if they offer an employer match. This is the trick to get 100% return on your money. You should at a minimum contribute the match. That's how you get that 100% return on your money. If you put in 6% and they match 6%, that is a 100% return for you doing absolutely nothing. At a bare minimum, start there. Okay, so you've got your employer match on your 401k. Let's talk about what I think is the best retirement account ever created for young people. And most young people don't have one and don't know how to get one. So here's why it's awesome in my opinion. You contribute after-tax dollars. That means all of your money grows tax-free. There are no capital gains tax, no withdrawal tax if you withdraw it in retirement. You don't pay a single dollar of tax on all of that compounding in the future. So in 2026, you can contribute $7,500 a year, which is $625 a month. Now I know earlier we talked if you only contributed $400 a month and you were 25, you would have well over $1 million by the time you're 65. If you're 25 years old right now and you do step 1 and 2, you can guarantee either a faster return to get to that 1 million plus, or significantly more money if you wait till you're 65. you're already ahead of what we planned on. So you may ask, how can I create a Roth IRA account? So any brokerage account, Fidelity, Schwab, Vanguard, there may be others, those are kind of the big three. It takes about 15 minutes. You need your bank account, a couple other personal infos, and then just direct deposit your money into that account every single month. Automatic direct deposit, no questions asked. We'll talk about what to invest this money into later on in the video. So you've got your employer match, you've maxed out your Roth IRA. Now we have a couple options, and I'm going to leave this up to you guys. I'll kind of give you personally what I do, but all strategies are going to be different. So you can go back to your 401k and contribute tons to your 401k. You can open a taxable brokerage account, or you can contribute to an HSA, health savings account. I'm going to talk about all three of these, but they're all valuable options. So a good argument to go back to the 401k is if you're making a lot of money and you want to get your taxable income lower. So basically, instead of paying more income tax, you can invest money and have that money work for you. You do have to remember though, on 401ks, Roth IRAs, and traditional IRAs, you can't get into that money until you're 59 and a half. So, if you want to get your money before 59 and a half, you're going to need a taxable brokerage account. So the taxable brokerage account isn't super flashy. It doesn't have pre-tax benefits like a 401k. It doesn't have post-tax benefits like a Roth. The key here is that money is yours to get whenever you want it, but you have to pay capital gains tax on your money. So you contribute to your taxable brokerage account just like your other retirement accounts. Use this method that I'm going to tell you about here in a few minutes, just like all your other accounts. Don't buy meme stocks, crypto, options trading. Granted, you can buy crypto, but don't day trade crypto or day trade stocks. Don't do options, none of this stuff. We can talk about this later, but stay away from it, because you have that option in a taxable brokerage account. They're a lot more flexible than retirement accounts. So last but certainly not least, honestly this one should go at the top of the list, the HSA or health savings account. See if your employer offers a high deductible savings plan rather than traditional insurance. If you're young, this is a no-brainer. I will definitely make a video specifically on the HSA later, so comment if you're interested in that, but let's move on. So the HSA is the only account, period, point blank, in the world that has a triple tax advantage. Money is tax-free going in, capital gains is tax-free, and all healthcare expenses are tax-free. I personally, before investing in a traditional brokerage account, would shoot to max this out with your employer if it's available. So in 2026, the max on HSA is $4,300 per year. I'll let you do your own math on that, but I almost guarantee you pay more than $4,300 a year in healthcare insurance. Like I said, I could go on for days about the HSA. It's a killer account for young people, but we've got to move on or we're going to be here all day. I'll talk about that in a future video. So you've opened all these accounts and you've contributed money to them. What do you actually invest in it? So let's keep it really simple. Stay off the news, don't watch stocks, don't watch the next meme coin, the next crypto, don't options trade, none of that junk. You don't have to be smart with this, you just need to be consistent. So the strategy I'm going to tell you is proven by billionaires across the world. Warren Buffett was one of the pioneers of this strategy, and I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing. The ticket is to buy low-cost, diversified index funds and never sell. An index fund doesn't try to beat the market, it is the market. You are literally buying small pieces of the most popular stocks in the market. Whenever the economy grows, your money grows with it. I personally like S&P 500 index funds. All brokerage accounts, IRAs, 401ks should offer these. This is the 500 largest companies on the US stock exchange. You'd be stupid to bet against the top 500 companies. If you want to keep it simple, just buy S&P 500 index funds all the time. I'm in a little bit of international and a couple single stocks, but I'm not going to talk about that here. This is just the basics. So go out and get you an S&P 500 index fund and invest regularly. And don't let people tell you, oh, this is risky, this is gambling. Sure, it's risky, but the market always comes up. Just look at the long-term graph. Remember, we're in this for the long term. The danger is not dealing with the risk. The danger is panic selling or not investing at all. So remember, buy regularly and do not sell. Automate your contributions, auto direct deposit, and do not touch this money, period. That leads into my next topic, automation. Your 401k and HSA are going to automatically come out through your paycheck, and you're never going to see that money. That's awesome, and that's why they're so critical. Taxable brokerage account and Roth IRA, you will have to set up auto deposit on your own, and you better do this. If you don't prioritize this, I promise you, you will spend that money instead of invest it. And this is the whole system we're trying to build here. A future-proof system that just continues to grow and grow and grow. You need to get your feelings out of it and just do it automatically. I would personally recommend to automatically increase your contributions if you get a bonus, raise, tax return, anything like that. If you get a lump sum of money, say from a tax return or a bonus, invest that in something. And if you get a raise, invest all of that raise or a portion of your raise every single paycheck. The key is to act like the money in your investments doesn't even exist, except when you log in and see all the gains you have. So with all this good advice, the worst thing you can do is screw it up. So here's how you can screw it up. Number one, waiting until you make more money. You need to invest now. Invest all you can. Start with a super small amount if you want. It's getting in the habit of investing that's more important than even the amount you put in, because that will grow when you start to see the gains. Number two, do not cash out your 401k if you change jobs. You'll pay an early withdrawal penalty and also tax on that money. Roll this over into a 401k or an IRA at your new employer. Number three, do not keep your money in these accounts in bonds, cash, low return junk. We want to get granted we don't want to go way over the top, but we want to get the best bang for our buck that we can. Do not let this sit in a cash account or a money market. Log in and actually choose index funds for your money. Number four, trying to time the market. This is a recipe for disaster. No one in the world, except insider trading, can time the market, and we don't have access to that. Stop trying to be clever and just put your money in. If the market's down, buy some more. That's the only recommendation I have on timing the market. And number five, do not let lifestyle inflation eat everything you have. I already mentioned it, but every time your income grows up, your investment should go up also to match that, or possibly even more than your income went up. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to get fired up. The reality is, pensions are gone for most people, and they're definitely gone for all young people. For all young people, you're not even going to have Social Security, so let's not depend on it. I've just given you the recipe to beat Social Security, to beat pension, to beat traditional retirement, and you can do it all as a young person. So let's recap. Get your employer match on your 401k, open a Roth IRA and contribute money. Remember to invest the money in index funds. I would say next arguably would be to max your HSA if it's available, then open a traditional brokerage account, or go back and max out your 401k as much as you possibly can. Automate all of these investments and do not sell. It's really that simple. If you want any more information on any of this advice, leave a comment down below. I will gladly make a video to answer any questions. Subscribe if you want more of this content. My goal is to bring all of the fellow young people along with me as I create my retirement journey in my early 20s. This is Two Tire Trek, where we talk about life behind bars.